Oh, now, perfect. Homemade pasta, left over from Sunday. This is going to be the best lunch of the week.
Oh, oh no. David, I'm so sorry.
That was my Sunday pasta.
I know, I'm really, really sorry.
Do you mean that, or are you just saying sorry?
What? Of course I mean it.
Because sorry is just a word. What I need to hear is that you actually understand what you did.
David, it's pasta.
She's right. It is pasta. But this is actually a really good question, isn't it? How do you apologize in English so that it sounds real, not just automatic, not just the word sorry, but something that actually fixes things?
Today, we're going to teach you 12 phrases for apologizing in English, phrases that native speakers actually use, phrases that sound natural, not like you read them from a textbook.
And I will try to forgive Anna for the pasta.
It was an accident.
We'll see.
Welcome to Fluento, everyday English for real life. I'm Anna.
And I'm David. If you're new here, hello. This channel is for A2 and B1 learners. That means you already know some English, but you want to sound more natural, more confident, more like a real person.
And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today's topic is one that every English learner needs: how to apologize properly.
Not just sorry, so much more than sorry.
We're going to use the OSE method. That's observe, speak, and extend. First, you'll observe. You'll watch and listen to natural English. Then you'll speak. You'll practice the phrases with us, out loud. And then you'll extend. You'll learn how to use each phrase in different real-life situations.
Ready? Let's go. And Anna, you still owe me pasta.
Okay, before we teach the phrases, let's talk about why apologizing in English is hard.
In English, there are many different types of apology. A small apology, like bumping into someone on the street, is very different from a big apology, like forgetting your friend's birthday. The words you use are different. The tone is different. The situation is different.
And a lot of learners use the same apology for everything. I'm sorry. And that's fine, but sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes it sounds too small, and sometimes, and this is interesting, saying sorry too quickly can actually sound less sincere.
Right, because native speakers notice if an apology is just automatic. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. That can feel like nothing.
So let's look at 3 situations. Watch carefully. We'll analyze what's happening. Situation 1, the small accident.
Oh, my bad. Here you go.
Did you hear that? My bad. This is a very common, casual way to apologize for a small mistake. It means, I did something wrong, I know it, no big deal.
It's informal. You use it with friends, colleagues, people you know, not with your boss, not in a formal email.
Also notice, David didn't say, I'm sorry. He said, my bad. In casual English, this is completely natural. In fact, sorry in a situation like this can sometimes sound too formal.
Situation 2, being late. Anna, I'm so sorry I'm late. The train was delayed and I completely lost track of time. I really apologize. I know you've been waiting.
I noticed 3 things here. First, I'm so sorry I'm late. He explains what he's apologizing for, not just sorry. Sorry for what?
Second, I really apologize. This is stronger than sorry. I apologize sounds more formal, more serious. It shows you're taking it seriously.
Third, I know you've been waiting. This is important. He's showing that he understands the other person's experience. He's not just focused on his own mistake. He's acknowledging your feelings.
And that's what makes an apology feel real. You're not just talking about yourself. You're saying, I see you.
Situation 3, a bigger mistake.
Anna, I owe you an apology. I should have told you about the meeting change. I forgot, and that left you looking unprepared. That was my fault, and I'm genuinely sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Notice the structure here. David said, I owe you an apology. That signals something important is coming. Then he explained specifically what went wrong. Then he took responsibility. That was my fault. And then he said, I'm genuinely sorry. Not just sorry, but genuinely sorry.
Genuinely means truly, really, from the heart. It makes the apology feel more honest.
And I said, I appreciate that. That's a natural way to accept an apology. We'll come back to that later. Now it's your turn. We're going to go through all 12 phrases. For each one, say it out loud with us. That's the rule. Don't just listen, speak.
And we'll tell you when to use it, when not to use it, and what to add to make it sound more natural.
Phrase 1. My bad. Casual, friendly, small mistakes only.
Repeat after me. My bad.
Use it when you accidentally take someone's seat, you send a message to the wrong person, you forget to pass on a quick message.
Don't use it when someone is genuinely hurt or upset. My bad for a serious situation sounds dismissive, like you don't care.
Phrase 2. I'm so sorry. Adding so makes it stronger. It's the most common way to upgrade a basic sorry.
Repeat. I'm so sorry.
You can also say, I'm really sorry, or I'm terribly sorry, which is more formal, more British.
Use tone here. I'm so sorry, said quickly, sounds different from I'm so sorry, said slowly. The pause, the tone, these matter.
Phrase 3. I owe you an apology.
This phrase signals what I'm about to say is important. It prepares the other person. It says, this isn't small talk. I'm taking this seriously.
Repeat. I owe you an apology.
This is good for situations where some time has passed. Maybe you said something wrong yesterday. Maybe you forgot something last week. You use this phrase to open the conversation.
Phrase 4. I should have.
This is one of the most powerful apology structures in English. Should have shows that you understand what the right action was, and you didn't do it.
Examples. I should have called you. I should have been more careful. I should have told you sooner. Try this one. I should have called you.
And notice, this is more than just saying sorry. You're showing understanding. You're saying, I know what I did wrong. That's what makes it land.
Phrase 5. That was my fault.
Direct, clear, no excuses. This phrase takes full responsibility.
A lot of learners avoid this one because it feels uncomfortable, but actually, people respect it. Saying, that was my fault makes you sound mature, honest, trustworthy.
Repeat, that was my fault.
You can also say, that was entirely my fault. Adding entirely shows you're not sharing the blame, you're owning it completely.
Phrase 6, I didn't mean to.
Sometimes you need to explain that something was an accident. I didn't mean to does exactly that.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't mean to take so long.
Repeat. I didn't mean to upset you.
Important note, don't use this as an excuse. I didn't mean to is useful, but if you only say this and nothing else, it can sound like you're avoiding responsibility. Pair it with a real apology.
For example, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm really sorry. I should have been more careful with my words.
Phrase 7. I'm genuinely sorry.
We saw this earlier in our scene. Genuinely makes the apology feel sincere, not automatic.
Repeat. I'm genuinely sorry.
Other words you can use here are truly, deeply, sincerely. I'm truly sorry. I'm deeply sorry. These are all stronger than plain sorry.
Deeply sorry and sincerely sorry are more formal, good for serious situations or written apologies.
Phrase 8. I really apologize.
Apologize is a verb. I apologize is more formal than I'm sorry. It's good for professional settings.
Repeat. I really apologize.
In a professional email, I apologize for the delay. In a phone call, I really apologize for any confusion. In a meeting, I apologize, I should have prepared this better.
Notice, I apologize for plus noun. I apologize for the delay. I apologize for the misunderstanding. This structure is very common in professional English.
Phrase 9. I know this must have been frustrating for you. Now we're getting into empathy. This phrase shows you understand how the other person feels.
This is what separates a real apology from a performative one. You're not just talking about what you did, you're acknowledging their experience.
Repeat, I know this must have been frustrating for you.
Other versions are, I know this wasn't easy for you. I can imagine how annoying that was. I understand this put you in a difficult position.
When you add this to an apology, people feel heard, and feeling heard is often more important than the words, I'm sorry.
Phrase 10. It won't happen again.
An apology looks backwards at what went wrong. A promise looks forward at what will be different.
It won't happen again is a forward promise. It says, I'm not just sorry, I'm changing something.
Repeat, it won't happen again.
Be careful. Only say this if you mean it. If the same thing happens again after this promise, the damage is much worse. So use it when you genuinely intend to do better.
Phrase 11. Please let me make it up to you.
This phrase offers action. It says, I want to fix this, not just talk about it.
Make it up to you means do something good to replace something bad. Compensate, repair.
Repeat. Please let me make it up to you.
Practical examples. Please let me make it up to you. I'll buy you lunch. I'd like to make it up to you. Can I help you with that report?
This is a lovely phrase because it shows initiative. You're not waiting to be forgiven, you're actively trying to fix things.
Phrase 12. I appreciate your patience.
This one's a little different. You're not just apologizing, you're also thanking the other person for how they handled it.
It's a way of acknowledging that they were patient or kind or gracious, even when they had every right to be upset.
Repeat. I appreciate your patience.
You'll hear this a lot in professional settings. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate your understanding. It closes the apology on a warm, grateful note. Okay, you know the phrases. Now let's extend. Let's build full apologies, the kind you'd actually use in real life.
A strong apology usually has 3 parts. 1. Acknowledge what happened. 2. Take responsibility. 3. Offer something forward, a promise, an action, or empathy.
Let's do 3 examples together. Example 1. Apologizing to a friend for canceling plans.
Hey, I owe you an apology. I canceled last minute and that wasn't fair to you. You'd already made plans around our dinner. I'm genuinely sorry. It won't happen again, and please let me make it up to you. I'm buying next time.
Notice the structure. I owe you an apology opens it. That wasn't fair to you takes responsibility. I'm genuinely sorry, the apology itself. It won't happen again, the forward promise. Let me make it up to you, the action.
Example 2, apologizing at work for a mistake.
I really apologize for the error in yesterday's report. That was my fault. I should have checked the numbers before sending it. I know this put you in a difficult position, and I appreciate your patience. I've corrected the document, and it won't happen again.
Professional, clear, complete. He doesn't over-apologize. He doesn't say sorry 5 times. He says it once with meaning, and then takes action.
Example 3, apologizing for something emotional.
I've been thinking about what I said the other day, and I owe you a real apology. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I can see that I did, and I'm truly sorry. I should have been more careful with my words. Your feelings matter to me, and I'll do better.
Emotional apologies need more empathy, like, I can see that I did. Your feelings matter to me. Less about the facts, more about the person.
Common mistakes to avoid. Before we finish, 3 common mistakes that English learners make when apologizing.
Mistake 1, saying, sorry, but. As soon as you say but, you're canceling the apology. I'm sorry, but you started it. That's not an apology, that's an argument.
Mistake 2 is over-apologizing. Saying sorry, sorry, sorry repeatedly can actually make the other person uncomfortable. One sincere apology is more powerful than 10 automatic ones.
Mistake 3, apologizing without specifics. I'm sorry for everything. Sounds vague. I'm sorry I forgot your birthday. That was thoughtless and you deserved better. Sounds real.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of all 12 phrases. I'll say them, you repeat them out loud. One more time.
Ready?
My bad. I'm so sorry. I owe you an apology. I should have. That was my fault. I didn't mean to. I'm genuinely sorry. I really apologize. I know this must have been frustrating for you. It won't happen again. Please let me make it up to you. I appreciate your patience.
Excellent! If you want all 12 phrases in a beautiful printable guide, it's in the description below. Free download, the Fluento phrase guide for this episode. Take it, print it, stick it on your wall.
And if you practiced today, leave us a comment. Write one apology sentence using a phrase from this lesson. We read every single one.
If this video helped you, please subscribe. It really does help us make more content. And share it with someone who's learning English. They'll thank you, probably with one of these phrases.
I appreciate your understanding.
Exactly. See you in the next one.
Bye.